Welcome to another episode of Dave's Imaginations. In this episode, we're going to cover the Dungeon Crawl Classic, Warrior. The Warrior, the mighty warrior that uses deeds to do special feats within battle. If this appeals to you, you might want to play the Warrior, and we're going to go through all the details right after this. Stay with me. Yeah, the warrior, the mighty warrior. The warrior has a hit die of 1d12. Let's jump over to the PDF. You are a mailed knight on a knight's errand, a greedy brigand loyal to no one, a wild bearskin wanderer with an empty stomach, or a stout man at arms armored by merchant's gold. Like I said, you have hit points of 1d12. Now this is 1d12 plus your stamina modifier, and you would add that as you increase your levels. Weapon training. Warrior training just about everything, right? Use of all these different types of weapons, from battle axes, long swords, two-handed swords, war hammers, and warriors wear whatever armor they can afford. Alignments, they can be whatever alignment they want. Attack modifiers. Unlike other classes, warriors do not receive a fixed attack modifier at each level, and instead they receive a randomized modifier known as a D die. At first level, this D die is a D3. A warrior rolls the D3 on each attack roll and applies it to both his attack roll and his damage roll. On one attack, the die may give him a +1 to his attack roll and damage roll. On the next attack, the die might give him a +3. So that you roll the die could have a different effect, right? It could be whatever the die roll is. And that die roll increases as he increases in his levels, and all the way up to a D10 +4. All right, so the mighty deeds of arms. Warriors earn their gold with pure physical prowess. They swing across chapels on chandeliers. They do all these mighty deeds. To do this, a warrior's deed die determines the deed's success. It's the same die used for the warrior's attack and damage modifier each round. If the deed die is a 3 or higher, an attack lands, and you have to hit them, right? The total attack roll exceeds the target's armor class, of course. The deed succeeds. If the deed die is 2 or less, or the overall attack fails, the deed fails as well. And they give us a whole list of different deeds. We'll get to that in a second. Critical hits. In combat, a warrior is the most likely to score a critical hit and tends to get the most destructive effects when he does so. Warrior rolls the highest crit dice and rolls on tables with most devastating effects. In addition, the warrior scores critical hits more often. A 1st through 4th level warrior scores a crit on a natural 19 or 12, and that range increases as their level increases. Initiative. Unlike other classes, the initiative warrior adds his class level to his initiative roll, which is probably a good thing since his initiative roll was probably affected by the armor he was wearing, so that helped negate some of that. Luck. At the first level, a warrior's luck modifiers applies to attack rolls with one specific kind of weapon. This kind of weapon must be chosen at first level, and so that luck roll could either be a positive or negative. So, warrior, choose your weapon wisely. If it's a negative, you might not want to pick the weapon you always want to use. All right. Action dice. A warrior always uses his action dice for attacks. 5th level warrior gains a second attack, just like many of the other classes. So then we go into the different types of mighty deeds. Let's read a couple of these. When fighting opponents on a staircase, the character uses a sword to stab his opponent and then lever him over the edge of the staircase. Later, the same character tried attacking the foe's legs to knocking him over the edge. Jumping down a few here. When hurling flasks of burning oil on a giant toad, the warrior aimed for the toad's open mouth to throw the oil down its gullet. So those are examples. They're going for these cinematic, grandiose attacks. I think it's pretty cool. And if you roll that D3 or better, then that extra cinematic event happens. So here's the table for the warrior. You can see the second time. This is your attack deed die. So level 1 is a D3, level 6 is a D8, and level 10 is a D10 +4. And then you have your crit die and table, and you can see this die increases and the table increases as they have the best critical hits. The threat range, or the critical hit range, 19 through 20 through 1 through 4. 5th level, that goes 18 through 20, and then at 9th and 10th level, that becomes 17 through 20. Your action die, like many races, is a d20, but then it has a secondary die, just like most of the other races. You also have your modifiers for your reflex, fortitude, and willpower. And again, this would be added to your already established value. So if your agility was +1, you would add another +1 to that to have a +2 reflex. And then warrior titles, harkening back to the original Dungeons & Dragons, you have names for your character, for your class, depending on their alignment and level. So at level 1, your lawful warrior is a squire. At level 3, your chaotic warrior is a marauder. At level 5, your neutral is a chieftain. So that's pretty cool. That is the warrior. What do you think? You like the warrior? Big, tough, barbaric type of fighter with all the bonuses and his dramatic cinematic deeds. I tell you, I played a dwarf, and we'll get to that. The dwarf also had some of these. I played dwarf, and I used that deed. It was pretty fun to pull off some of those extra stunts. I enjoyed it. What do you think? What do you like about the warrior? What do you not like about the warrior? Let me know down in the comments. I'd appreciate it. While you're down there, if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe. I appreciate that as well. Otherwise, we'll be doing more of these, and if you don't mind, you might hit that bell to get notifications. Until the next video, take care.